Yo, 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 what is up? We are back. This is the Rivalry Show with Joe Stevens and me, No Border Sports, aka No Crypto. What up, Joe?
What's going on, man? How's your week been?
It's been exciting.
Yeah, real exciting. It's like the most exciting week of the NFL right
Well,
now.
yeah, no. Twitter, between my stares and Twitter, it has been exciting the last couple of days. But
Yeah.
49ers news, not really, because it seems like the only thing that's going around in the news lately is just wild ass rumors with no source or basis in reality. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
that's just about everything. We do have two actual pieces of news, I guess, to get to before we talk about this. One of them, so we released Ryan Neal, who started a strong safety all last year.
Yes,
And
I remember that. I was going to ask you about that
yeah,
real quick.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's spend some time on that because I don't know. The 49ers are in need for a safety. And once I saw that going, I thought, oh, it's just about time. Any minute now, some 49ers fan will be like, hey, maybe we should kick the tires on this guy.
He's already gone. He signed with the Bucks.
Gotcha.
But no, I think it kind of sucks because he did fill a big void last year with Jamal Adams being hurt. But we signed that Julian Love from the Giants, right? Who also plays strong safety. And I don't know, Ryan Neal, I think it's good for him because at least he'll get an opportunity to start somewhere. I don't see him as a starting defensive back here, but he went to Tampa Bay. That's where our offensive coordinator or our quarterback's coach turned offensive coordinator went. And I think he'll surprise a lot of people there. A lot of people ain't heard of him, right? But he's a real solid ball player. He's no Earl Thomas, he's no Cam Chancellor, but he's a solid safety. So I definitely thought he was a step above Jamal Adams. So
Got to say what up to David Corona in the house. What up, sir? Thank you for
what up,
stopping
David
in.
Corona?
Shout out to the Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors, Dub Nation in the chat.
Dub Nation in the chat, baby.
I'm just kidding, everybody. He's a Lakers
Yeah,
fan.
just kidding. He's a Lakers fan. He's a Lake Show guy.
But yeah, no, that Ryan Neal, I really think he's a true starting caliber safety in the NFL. So, but yeah, the second piece of big news, probably the biggest news of the NFL today, the Arizona Cardinals getting new uniforms. How about that?
It's probably I haven't seen them. Actually, I have not seen them.
They're not out yet.
Oh, so they're just talking about these things.
Yeah, they did release though. They did release before the draft. They will be out, so that'll be a huge money grab for the Arizona Cardinals.
To me, this is just this is to try and like fake put a Band-Aid on their situation. You know what I mean? This is like bro, how are you gonna redo your jerseys when your starting quarterback who you paid the bag to isn't even gonna start the season? I don't think this is the right year to roll this out. You know what I'm saying? To me,
maybe they're just thinking, you know what, we haven't been great for a long time. Let's try to change something up.
Well, like look at how the Seahawks did it. They were like, hey, it seems like there's a new air around in the city, with this team. Let's start the season with some new jerseys, some new outfits. Let's see, let's changing of the old guard to the new guard. Let's do something that makes sense. You were going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. It's like shedding the old skin, you know what I mean? Because you've got this new team. It makes perfect sense. You still got that same shitty Cardinals team down there. What are you just dressing them up in a new suit?
If not worse, right? Because they literally I can't think, and this isn't me just talking shit about the Cardinals because I don't like them, and
I really don't care.
Maybe we can clickbait our way into getting a Cardinals fan in here. Maybe we can just talk so much shit about them or tell the truth, that maybe somebody will be like, oh man, you know what? Screw these guys. I'm gonna get in here and tell them what's up. But No, yeah, it just seems like you are right. A weird timing, right? It's like when the Browns changed their uniforms, to that really ugly that said Cleveland across the chest. Same deal. Or the Jaguars change theirs every 4 years when you're allowed to. So
I I see this move coming from like the Rams because they're the ones that came out. The COO came out and was like, we feel we're going to compete for the division this year. Shut up. Like I I I'm all for you saying, "Hey, don't count us out." Okay?
mhm.
Perfectly fine there. You are not competing for the division this year. The Rams the Rams are not competing for the division this year. They've got me and you know what I'm saying? That's too much for them to get through with their roster, I would
the
say.
way the way I look at 2023, or at least coming off of last year, is we got you guys great, us good, hopefully approaching great within the next. I'm really thinking, 2023 kind of seems like hopefully it's like 2012 with us, where we can make a deep playoff run, and then hopefully by 2024 we're ready there to win the Super Bowl. But you got you, me, shit underneath. I mean, and hopefully for their sake they can turn it around. But they haven't really shown me anything that tells me otherwise.
Neither
So
of them. I think Kyler Murray is how to put this. To me, he's like a Trojan horse.
oh, it looks
Like,
really good on the outside.
yeah, you're so happy, so inviting, you bring him in, but he's gonna destroy you from the inside.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah,
they're catering to him. They are catering to him. I have a feeling that they got rid of Cliff Kingsbury because they're like, oh no, we like Kyler so much. Cliff Kingsbury must be the problem. And I'm not saying he wasn't partially the problem,
yeah.
but
To be fair,
I'm
yeah,
saying that I'm sure Kyler had some things to do with it because he doesn't seem like a guy who's really worried about what's going on in that QB room outside of the time he's in that QB room.
no. See, Kyler Murray kind of reminds me. Never mind. Not really. I mean, I feel like him and Russell Wilson are more similar than just their height. I feel like they're like little. I mean, I get
Man
it. Russell
childs.
Wilson, watches tape and like works harder than everybody else.
That's
But
yeah.
but he they both are very like total like just defiant to what everybody else tells them, and they think they're right all the time. I mean, it really does seem like that. I mean, other than just their height, they seem a lot more similar than they both try to get their coaches fired. I don't know if you read that. That was the huge offseason news for Russell
Which he
Wilson.
denied.
Oh yeah, of course he is.
Which he did. No, I wouldn't do that because I'm such a great person. But I actually did that.
Well, and then John and Pete come in and they're super cool about it. They go, you know what? It's water under the bridge. We don't care. But they don't deny that it happened. Obviously, it happened. So
Yeah. Well, it's like he was like, I don't know if you noticed, but I think we talked about this. Russell Wilson had his own charity thing and he was paying his staff more money than what was going out to any sort of charity whatsoever.
yeah,
So he just had
it was a
yeah,
crazy percentage, dude, and it makes you sick to your stomach to the people that actually donated to that charity and think that's going to a good cause. And this isn't just shitting on Russell at this point. This is like yeah, him asking.
there's probably a lot of these type of, you know, what do you call it? Non for profit, charities out there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where
well,
people are just paying the people on the board of directors, and that's where most of the money's going.
him like okay, like I'll shit on Russell all day for like forcing his way out of town, saying, "Hey, you know what? You need to fire Pete Carroll," acting like the good guy. But I mean, that's just being a shitty human. That charity stuff. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not even sports hate the guy. You can legitimately hate the guy after that.
How do
You know?
you twist your mind? Because this is the other thing. I don't think Russell Wilson thinks he's wrong for doing it.
No, because he's a narcissist.
But how do you twist your mind knowing that taking money, going to a charity, and diverting it most of a majority of it to
Mhm.
just the overhead and specifically into the salaries of essentially your friends. Like, how do you justify that? Like, at what
Yeah.
point does something slide over and you're like, yeah, you're right, I should pay them $1 million this year?
Well, I think the best part is the only reason he was being investigated for that was because he won Walter Payton Man of the Year the year he was doing that shit.
Yeah.
They investigated. Well, I guess you can't really say investigate. They kind of just looked into the books of all the guys that were running Walter Payton Man of the Year, and it turns out the guy who won is the guy that was not the guy that everybody was saying he was. So yeah, he just 49ers, Seahawks, Rams is Cardinals division. 49ers is win the division.
Yep.
Yeah.
49 is going to take it all, Joe. There's nothing you can do about it.
No, fuck no. I mean, you're right. I am in the fetal position right now after reading that.
Hey, you're not in the fetal position as much as some in the division. Holy moly.
Yeah, no, like I said, I know I heard your guys's you guys were talking on Brian Culp's channel, and David McNiner was saying he's not really afraid of Geno Smith. Well, I think with this defense that we have this year, it'll just make our offense. I really think we did a good job rebuilding our defensive line, and our secondary is there. I think with Geno Smith, you'll see a much more efficient offense because, I mean, as long as we can get that run game going and play good defense, I mean, that's what we did with Russ for a long time. So,
that's kind of been your Achilles heel these last couple of years, is that run game. It's like you can't keep guys healthy, and we can't keep guys healthy, but it seems like we've always got somebody.
I don't know how you guys do it because you guys will have like a fifth string running back coming from a junior college.
Undrafted free agents, bro. Dude, Jeff Wilson Jr. we traded him away for, I think, a 5th round pick to the Miami Dolphins. He was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, no, I
and
think
he's been on our squad for like 3 years, 4 years. Like, it's Bobby Turner.
Yeah.
That's the guy. It's coach. He's the running backs coach. His name is Bobby Turner. He is the running back whisperer. Okay. The guy's like 80 something years old, had cancer, stepped back for a year. Didn't even say, I'm retiring. He says, I'm stepping back for a year. I'm going to handle this. He beat cancer and came back before the end of the season.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
We got a dog in Bobby Turner. So that's
why. Well, I mean, that speaks as much too to the offensive line as well. I mean, I think your guys' blocking schemes. Obviously, I don't study the tape like a lot of people. I don't watch the all 22 games, but everybody talks about it's like their blocking schemes are just different than anybody else, and it works. So
one thing I've noticed about Kyle Shanahan and his blocking scheme is everything is on purpose. Like, every movement is supposed to look the same as every other movement until it's not.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Until it's not. And that's what really throws everybody off. And that's what makes it like, so JT O'Sullivan came out and kind of made a video calling Kyle Shanahan out. And there's some things I think are definitely some good things he said in there. And I think Kyle really needs to do some soul searching on some things, because I believe he's right. But like, one of the things he's talking about was like, hey, you should double team this guy and this guy and this guy. But then I think to put my Kyle Shanahan hat on, and he's thinking with his system, if he's doing everything like it's everything else, then everybody should be, the magic should be doing its job. So therefore he can't think like, oh, maybe I should just double team this guy here to make sure we get this block. You know what I mean? Because if we don't, the whole play's just blown up. And
yeah, no, exactly. It's a well-oiled machine, right? That's what I see the 49ers offensive line. And I think that's what's really carried you the past few years is a good offensive line, a good run game, and a good defense. So, and that's a winning formula in the NFL. I don't care what you can pass the ball 50 times a game, pass for 5,000 yards, but what's going to win you a lot of those games is just playing good defense, playing close, being close in comfortable games, and run the ball.
So somebody had made a point the other day. Is I believe it was Grant Cohn. He's like, Kyle Shanahan's system is like in 10%, or like, is being ran in 10 of the 30 teams.
Mhm.
10 of the 32 teams. He's like, but the only one who's been able to win with his system is Sean McVay. And he did it the year he kind of ditched the running game and went to the passing game. So that I thought was I'm not saying that's fact, but that was definitely a good observation that was put out. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody look at look at Mike McDaniel in Miami. Look how the success he had this year.
Yeah, no, I think it worked great until Tua. Obviously, all that shit happened with him. But yeah, and they were airing the ball out. I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Well, but that was like a combination. You know what I mean? They use things a little bit more, but what you found was it's still that type of offense where the quarterback isn't asked to be the hero. You're not playing hero ball. You're just asked to go through your progressions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And know when you're supposed to throw it. You know what I mean? And just
And make
react
some
as
throws. Yeah.
right. Right. So and I remember I think her name's Kay. She was on Good Morning Football or whatever. Remember she was on that morning show with Shregs. She's on the morning show with Shregs. She's a cute little thing. She ended up moving off to something else. Anyway, she was saying that they had the top 5 quarterback percentage, and Gino was up there, but you had Purdy, you had Jimmy G, and you had Tua. It was like the top, like, I don't know if it was like quarterback rating or something like that,
Yeah.
or accuracy. I can't remember what it was. She's saying that's not because of the system. And it's like, no, that's clearly because of the system.
Yeah, you
That's
got 2 guys. Yeah.
we've got 2 guys, and Tua's over there who had so many bad years. And who did they bring in? Mike McDaniel. Why did they bring him? Because I want to work with Tua. Why? Because I don't need a star. I just need somebody who can throw the rock and I can teach the system to. And once they figure it out, it's just like, how to put it? It's not like chess. It's just like, it's reactionary. Somebody does something that just means, it's like the binaries. Either it's a 1 or a 0. You know what I mean? If you see 0, that's a 0. You gotta move next. Is that a 1? Boom. It's real easy.
Yeah. Well, no, and back to that. Back to, I guess just having a great running game. I mean, that's your defense's best friend, right? Because if a defense 10 out of 10 times, they like sitting on the sidelines, right? They like long sustained drives. And we tried it in 2020, worked great the beginning half of the year, right? And we'd be winning games, but the time of possession was just stupid, like in the other way, because we were scoring so fast. And it's almost like we were scoring a touchdown the first 3 plays, or it was boom, quick 3 and out, and our defense is on the field. That's why I would love to have a team that has a great running game, a great defense, and like I said, that's how you win ball games, and that's how you guys have been doing it. So, and pass the ball obviously when you have to.
And it's always like for the run game, it's always good to threaten them deep every once in a while. You don't have to make it your bread and butter. You just got to threaten it deep. And the moment you get one of them, they're going to be back in their coverage a little bit more. You know what I mean? Which is going to give your running backs a little more room. And they're, going to gain an extra half a yard per carry. That's the way I see it.
Which is everything. Half a yard is everything.
Yeah. If you can consistently get 4 yards a carry,
that's
a first down every 3 downs, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So what up, Eric? Sorry.
Yep. Shout out to Eric.
But go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna tell him I almost fumbled this one today. I thought it was on his show. I was waiting for him to send me the link. I sign on at like, I don't know, 5:50 something. And he's like, hey, send me the link. And I was like, wait, I thought it was your week. And then I go back on YouTube. Nope, I was on his channel last week. Oh, crap. So here we are. I got this started real quick.
Yeah, shout out to being tech savvy. All right. Because if it was me doing the opposite, I'd be like, oh my God, my stomach would sink.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. once you do things enough, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm scared of it. You know what I mean? They're just like, if you look in the description right now, it doesn't say anything except for "We Live."
We live.
You know what I'm
Um,
saying?
yeah, no, I got you. But yeah, what any hot rumors you got? Joe
Oh
Montana coming out of retirement to be the
God,
offensive coordinator, and
yes. Joe Montana is coming out of no, not to be the offensive coordinator. He's going to be our fourth string quarterback.
yeah, I mean
Um,
he's been known to be great in those clutch situations. I
Joe
don't know.
Joe Staley is coming back to be our right tackle this year, so he can finally get a Super Bowl ring with us. That's all we were missing was a right tackle. He left. We got Trent Williams. He now has kind of got his neck figured out. He slimmed down a little bit, but Mike McGlinchey was a twig, so we're just going to move Joe Staley out there. And I'm sorry about your season next year, but it had to be.
Well, yeah, and
Also,
that's our
oh,
thing is Cam Chancellor, he did have a neck issue, but he's come back to play strong safety instead of Jamal Adams, and you know
oh, did he
what?
get the fusion surgery? Did they fuse the?
Uh, that's the
Because that's
rumor.
what I would
That's
have
the
done,
rumor. He's an Iron Man.
dude. If
Yeah,
you fuse that, they can't mess that up next time. You know what I'm saying?
got a lot of tread on the tires. Only
Yeah.
7 seasons. So, oh, what up, Corey? Yeah, this is not real, by the way. That last part
No,
was not real.
not at all. No, there's been a
No,
lot of wild ass rumors going around that are based in nothing. No source, just somebody's opinion passed off as it comes from a source. You know what I mean by way why people are speaking. Um yeah, it's really
well,
annoyed me lately.
and that's the thing about we'll just say sports social media is somebody can post something and it can gain traction fast.
Oh
And
yeah.
people are like, oh yeah, so and so said this. This is a possibility. It's just
So for the
insane.
last day, 49ers content creators have been talking about Aaron Rodgers coming to the 49ers if the Jets can't seal the deal. Which, so it's somebody comes out with this and thinks this is what's going on. They haven't said their sources. They just think that it's likely that this will happen after the owner had stated at the owners meeting, yeah, Kyle and John, they kind of like to spend their money everywhere else other than the quarterback position.
Oh, so go for a guy that takes
So
$50
now
million
go
dollars here.
give up all this capital for Aaron Rodgers and have to worry about fitting his salary in our cap. Yeah, it makes total sense.
And you're building a team that wants to be a consistent contender, and he's going to be there for 2 years, maybe.
Or wait. And you're getting him from an in-conference rival that doesn't like you, that you don't like them. So that just means you're paying more. So to
Yeah,
me, it, it's it's so stupid. It's like, oh yeah, the Jets aren't going to fall through this after they've gone out and they're getting players that Aaron Rodgers wants to play with. Okay.
mhm.
So they've got them under contract. Okay. So now they've got all the incentives for Aaron Rodgers to go over there. They're just working out this and that. And I hear the only thing that's they're they're up in arms about right now, not necessarily up in arms, but what they can't decide on is compensation if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play out his contract. So,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So they're looking at it like he might be, I don't know, worth a first, or he might be worth a third. And then if he plays the second year, they would go and send him a first or something like that. Which, look, that's fine. I get that.
They traded a third for Favre. The Jets did
Yeah.
back in the day. But yeah, no, all this shit's just stupid. There's been rumors that we're really interested in Clowney coming back. That one made me really happy. Um, Corey, is it just Giants trivia tomorrow or what?
Tonight is just Giants trivia with YTC.
Can we play along in the chat, Corey?
Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
I'm sure. Let us. It's Corey.
um,
You know he wants to have all the homies around. He'll
yeah,
probably
Corey's,
just have us come on the panel anyways.
yeah, Corey's the man.
Shout out
Everybody
to
make sure
everybody.
to go.
Yep.
What? Go
Make
ahead.
sure you sub to Corey. Make sure you sub to Corey.
Sorry.
He will be having a website up here pretty soon. I'm almost done with it. So I just got to put in the rest of everybody's scores, get everybody aligned in their positions, and then do some SOE for it and publish that. Oh, and put the links because you'll be able to click on people and go to their channel. So it'll be real cool.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the latest rumor with the Hawks is that we're really interested in bringing Jadeveon Clowney back. And I think any Seahawks fan that watched Jadeveon Clowney a couple years ago knows that he's got 1 to 2 good games per year. So think of Jadeveon Clowney as this: say you guys are thinking about bringing him in, right? You signed Jadeveon Clowney on a 1-year contract, right? Which is what we did. He's going to do the exact opposite of what Kirk Cousins does. So those primetime games, those Monday night, those Sunday night, those Thursday night games, he will show up and show out because he knows everybody's watching. But those regular 1 o'clock Pacific time games, 10 o'clock Pacific time games, he's invisible.
So, yeah, we just got our yearly Kirk Cousins rumor.
Oh, you did. See, I'm so happy. I don't know why the Seahawks aren't in this stuff, but it is so nice to just sit back. I mean, I guess last year people were saying we were interested in the massage guy, Watson. And we weren't, thank God. But yeah, no, I'm so happy that no news has come out. Oh, the Seahawks really interested in Lamar. I've just been waiting for that.
Think about the difference in, like, I don't know. Have you spent time in California?
No, never.
It's really kind of fast paced.
Yeah, we're not.
Yes.
We're super laid back.
I wonder if that the spinning of the wheels causes kind of maybe all this commotion. And why would they include you in it? You know what I'm saying? When they're only focused about in that one, right? You know what I mean? Like,
well, and I know I talk about East Coast bias all the time, right? Like, I'm not number one guy against East Coast bias. The Niners kind of get lumped in there because they've been a successful franchise for a long time. I mean,
yes.
the national narrative pays attention to the Niners and like the Cowboys and the Packers.
Yep.
I'm kind of, when it comes to times like these, I'm kind of happy everybody forgets about us. We're just tucked up there in the Northwest, and everybody's like, oh no, don't worry about them, right?
And then there's all this smoke about thumbnails. That's not helping things. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, the Seahawks are causing the biggest like smoke screens in the draft right now. I don't know if you've seen this. We're super into Anthony Richardson. I hope to God it's not. They're making it so obvious that they're not into Anthony Richardson by being so into Anthony Richardson that hopefully they're not actually into Anthony Richardson. If that makes sense.
I don't know. I think that guy needs a year. So exactly.
I think Gino would let him sit behind it, but I mean, we could totally have Jalen Carter or Will Anderson or.
Do you want Jalen Carter?
No, I don't. But I want a difference maker on the defensive line.
And I'm telling you, he might be in a year. Jalen Carter might be a difference maker in a year, but I don't think he's going to be a difference maker in week 1.
We'll see. We'll see about it. I don't. You're right.
This is the other thing too. He seems like he's a cocky prick because he's not trying to talk to anybody outside of the 10th pick. Okay. So I'm thinking, like, what is reality going to be like for you, bro, when you figure out you're not the biggest beast on the line?
Mhm.
Like you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing yet. Like you
But
don't
I
got your
think
NFL body. You're gonna get tossed around. You're gonna get frustrated. And when he can't perform to his abilities that he was in college, what is he going to turn into? Because a lot of these people are all into themselves. When they can't perform and they don't get their flowers, they turn into just pieces of crap. You know what I mean? Like personality wise, they just like become so bitter or petty or something like that, and they just kind of wreck their career.
well, the only argument I would have against that, if we were to pick Jalen Carter at number 5, right? Because I've seen him going to the Seahawks a lot, is the fact that Pete Carroll's your head coach. And if there's one guy, so Kyle Shanahan is known as an offensive genius, right? Like that's kind of what he's known for, right? Pete Carroll is one of the best motivators of men, if that makes sense. And if he can motivate this guy and get the most out of him, if there's one guy that can do it, it's Pete Carroll. And especially you got Bobby Wagner back now. He's got an older guy to look up to. But yeah, I don't really want to risk it on Jalen Carter either. So, but and then
Oh, that
another
sucks.
another I know I was just thinking that. But another one I saw whenever I see Jalen Carter going to the Falcons in a mock draft, I'm like, boy, if I was a team taking Jalen Carter, I'd want him as far away from the state of Georgia as possible. So, like here, right? He's not going to have those distractions every weekend.
He's also
gonna
not going to be that superstar that he was at the University of Georgia walking around in Seattle. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
not going to have that
exactly.
cult following. He's not going to think that he can get away with anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that's just one positive. If we do grab him, I really don't think we're going to. I think we'll end up with like Tyree Wilson, or we'll trade back a little bit and get like Luke Van Ness or something like that. But if we were to get him, I think there's nobody better to coach him than Pete Carroll. You can
I
tell
have
me
a
if I'm
feeling.
wrong.
I have a feeling Jalen Carter's going to fall.
Like to 15, because that's kind of what I was thinking.
Maybe even farther.
Oh, if we listen, I'm gonna
think about this.
tell you this. Okay,
Think about this. He doesn't want to do interviews outside of the 10th spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then who do you got after 11? A whole bunch of people you didn't want to give the time to. Now, why does somebody want to use their first round pick on somebody who couldn't read the room, that there might be some kind of situation? Look, this is the other thing. They might move up last second to get you. They might not want to be tipping their hand right now. So you not saying hi and what's up to people is making it so people are like, oh, well, I can't get him in the room, so we can't figure out what it is. Why do I want to risk my number 1 pick on him? That might just tank him down to the 2nd or 3rd.
Well, and how much of that is him, and how much of that is people just giving him shitty advice? Because I bet he didn't go, you know what? I'm not going outside the top 10. I bet that's an agent or a friend, you know.
Oh, I bet you it's I have a feeling it's the agent, but still, like, at what point do you go, no, that's dumb?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm telling you this though. If we're sitting there at 20, say he falls down to 20 and Jalen Carter's still on the board, I'm taking him at 20.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, because that's probably still a steal. You know what I mean? Especially, like you said, you got Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, out of everybody in the league, could probably, if he's got personality issues, could probably deal with him better than any other coach in the league.
And we've seen it before.
Yes, we have. We'd say it's proven. I'm not saying that Marshawn was, one of those personalities, but he was different. You know what I'm saying? He was different. Exactly. He was different, and other coaches probably couldn't handle that. And Pete Carroll was like, he's great. You know what I mean? Like,
that's how Pete is. Well, so you look at Bill Belichick, right? Super successful, right? You look at Pete Carroll, super successful, polar opposites. Pete Carroll will treat every player, Pete Carroll will treat every player on the roster 1 through 53 differently, because he knows they're different human beings and he knows what they need to motivate them. Bill Belichick will treat the starting quarterback the same as the 53rd guy on the roster, which sometimes it works out better when you do that. But Pete's just more of like I don't know, just a motivator, right? So
I think he just
yeah, you're right, Damien. Pete Carroll and his brother Ellen DeGeneres are a good combo. Ellen's actually might be our special teams coordinator this year.
Pete reminds me of that high school guidance counselor.
A little bit, doesn't he?
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always in your corner. He's got no skin in the game to, like, think you're a bad kid. He just wants to see you do good in the rest of your life. And he's just there to, oh, what's your dreams? Oh, yeah, let's try and get you to your dreams, bro. Let's just try and get you to your dreams. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah, you'd be great at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just seems like one of those guys.
The one rule with the Seahawks, or since Pete Carroll's came here, is protect the team. Rule number one. So all the inside stuff, right, doesn't get let on the outside. And I'm sure that saved our asses a few times, with all the media coverage and stuff like that are stuff that we don't really want or have to deal with because our players are so tight-lipped when it comes to. I mean, Percy Harvin punched Golden Tate in the face before the Super Bowl. We didn't hear about that until 10 years later or 8 years later, So it's
dude, that Percy Harvin, bro. Oh my God. That guy.
What about him? It was a bad trade.
I don't know. The guy, when he was on the field, nobody could really do anything to combat him.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, is he just a walk-in, like, you remember Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah.
Yeah. That little cloud of stuff and just grab people and they get stuck in it and then flung out. That's just all Percy Harvin was. He was just a mess. It seemed like no matter what he did, he was just gonna be a mess.
Dude, I cannot wait until they make the 30 for 30 on the Legion of Boom because I want to hear all the inside stories. Or one of the players writes a book, in 10 years from now or something like that. I want to hear what actually went on, like all the crazy shit that went on because like I said, they get so tight-lipped. I want to hear what actually went on in the locker room because I guarantee there was fights that we don't know about. There was certain shit that people said that we don't know about. I am so interested, especially with that many personalities on one team. You got Beast Mode, who just didn't.
I want to know who Marshawn checked. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure at one point he went up to somebody who was probably twice his size and was like, "Hey, listen here, dog." You know what I mean? And told him how things was gonna be. And that big motherfucker was just like, "You're right, Mr. Lynch."
I'm sorry, Marshawn.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Marshawn. No, that's okay.
Marshawn would not work with Bill Belichick. Marshawn did not have to practice Monday through Friday. He didn't have to play preseason games. But it was one of those guys. If on Sundays you get the most of him and he knows what he's supposed to do, then why make him do the shit that he doesn't want to because he's going to be jaded towards you guys and the team.
Or like he ran so hard, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That you're saving him for the game essentially. What does he need to really learn in practice? Like he wasn't, you guys weren't running that complex of run schemes. You're not like running the stuff that the 49ers were. It's pretty basic. It's pretty much downhill. You know what I mean? You might have a pulling guard every once in a while on the fancy plays.
It was just like inside zones all the time. Inside zones. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't much going on. He was just, he's just ready to go.
There's an awesome mic'd up of Pete Carroll, and he's going, Hey, Marshawn, when you see this, I need you to go. And Marshawn cuts him off and he goes, I just read it. And then Pete tries to tell him again. He goes, I just read it. And he won't he goes, okay, you'll read it. I'll see you later. And just walks back to the sideline. So
it's like, Pete, I ain't trying to figure out what the fuck you talking about, but I appreciate you and much respect. That's what he said.
And that's the thing with the Seahawks is everybody leaves, right? And they think, oh man, I'm off to bigger and better things, greener pastures. And then they leave and then they want to come back.
Yeah.
because the culture is so awesome here. You know, there's not a lot of coaches you see on a freaking Lime scooter riding around the locker room the day before the wild card game.
Bro, and like literally you could just be who you want to. You know what I mean? It's just as long as when we have to concentrate on something, you're there and you're a part of the team. That's really all I need you to do. You need to show up, you need to do your job, but I need you to concentrate. Just a couple times. Yeah. It's hilarious.
And it's so funny. He was the polar opposite of Harbaugh, you know. And we got a lot of good players from Harbaugh. We got Doug Baldwin, we got Richard Sherman, and those were two of the staples of our great teams. And it just shows like both those. Well, I guess Sherman was a fifth rounder, but Doug went undrafted, and it really shows what a different coach. Some guys are made to be coached by Harbaugh and Belichick and guys like that, but other guys are made to be coached by. It's a person by person basis, right? So.
Oh yeah. Well, look at Kyle Shanahan. Look at how he coaches. He coaches by being everybody's friend.
Yeah.
You know, Pete's not necessarily everybody's friend. He's just accepting of people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Kyle's trying to be everybody's friend. And it's hard to run a business like this when you're everybody's friend.
Mm-hmm. No, and I think I think we both are truly blessed to have good head coaches, because look at the other. I guess Sean McVay is a good coach. I'll give him that. But what I'm saying is, I've seen shitty coaches, and it sucks. And it sucks when teams have a great coach like a Pete Carroll or a Shanahan, and they think, oh man, we just need to fire the coach and that's it. I mean, do you think the Eagles fans right now are thinking, oh God, I'm so glad we fired Andy Reid?
Yeah, right.
I mean, they were calling for his head by the time that he left Philadelphia. You know, fire Andy Reid and stuff like that. Now look at him. So,
yeah, but Andy Reid was open to working with people's strong points.
mm-hmm.
Kyle's not. They've decided they are not going to give Trey Lance any extra time whatsoever, and to see if he can be who he wants. They're okay with throwing away 3 first-round draft picks and just moving on, which to me is ridiculous. Like, I'm not saying like you can't move on from Trey Lance. What I'm saying is you moved up. You gave 3 first-round draft picks to pick somebody who you knew was a project, and then once you got him in the room, you decided, I don't have time for this project. Whoa. If you knew he was a project, you had to be ready for everything. If you weren't, your foresight is shit. And I don't expect you to make other good decisions going forward. So that's why it's so alarming to me. Plus, nobody's going to hang for this.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to hang for it. Nobody's going to get their nose rubbed in the shit to be told you did something wrong, which is how are you going to learn your lesson the next time? So to me, that's where I'm at. I'm like, it's like watching an accident happening and not being able to stop it, and both drivers essentially thinking they're in the right the whole way.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh God.
Damian Lee, can you go to his comment at the bottom?
Hold on real quick. I want to talk about this real quick. Harrison Ford. Every time I think of this guy, I think about what is it? Temple of Doom? Or is it Ark? It's like a scene where he comes out and the guy starts whipping his sword around. He's all big and he's strong and he's, looks all scary. And Harrison Ford looks at him and just shoots him. So there's a story behind that. He had been like sick with the flu for a couple of days, and he's supposed to have a big fight scene with the guy. And I guess he ad-libbed that part. He just pulled out the gun and shot him. And the director was like, no, that's great.
That's awesome.
The Cowboys will be a problem. We will play them twice. We will meet them in the playoffs again. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, What do the Cowboys have that any other team in the NFC doesn't have? I mean, really, I mean, unless you're a shit team. I think the Cowboys are a very meh team, but I think they get the national exposure that makes everybody think, the Cowboys will be a thing every year. They're a decent 10-win team. I don't think they're any better than that. What do you think?
Well, as with every team in the NFL, you have got talent on it. You know what I mean? And it
And
can be
Jerry Jones can
awakened.
find talent. He can. It's
I'm,
like, but he
yep,
can't put it together for some reason. So
it's with the coach. I'm guessing it's all comes to the coaching. I'm pretty sure he's in the middle of that stuff, and he's getting in the way of stuff. And I think that's his meddling is probably one of his biggest issues. But what I think is, I have a feeling we might lose to them in the regular season. The reason being is we beat them in the playoffs the last 2 years. So I think when we meet them in the regular season, they're going to feel like it's their Super Bowl, and they need to, they need this win to solidify any kind of feeling they have inside themselves that they're contenders. You know what I mean? We got to get this monkey off our back. We got to beat them, or else if we can't beat them now, we can't beat them later in the season. And I think they're going to get themselves amped up, and we could lose against them, especially if the game is early in the season. So I'm not worried about that because I think we'll best them in the playoffs.
Well, that's what Bryant had his channel, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, it reminded me of the guys on SNL sitting around talking about the Bears schedule. What score you think that score is good? I'm thinking about 103 to 3.
Bears.
It reminded me of that so much because I was like, man, are you guys ever gonna say they're gonna lose a game?
Balls.
But yeah, when they brought the Cowboys up, I got in the chat. I was like, Dallas versus San Fran September. I think Dallas wins. Dallas versus San Fran December. I think the 49ers win because the Cowboys fall apart every year.
They are, well, they put up a good fight in like the third quarter of the game against us, and then they just like
round.
Yeah. Well, there was a wild card the year before, but they just like they just at the end, like the air comes out of the balloon. It's like they keep themselves afloat just long enough to the point where they use up everything they've got, and they're like still got 7 minutes left, and they just can't finish it.
Yeah, no, I don't like how the Cowboys are in, well, it's because a lot of people like them and they get a lot of attention, right? Because their owner's such a loudmouth and they're America's team. But
they're not America's team.
What?
They're not America's team.
I don't think that I don't think they deserve the praise that they get. Like, they're perennial playoff contenders every year. I mean, what's different from? Oh, I guess Dak got hurt 2 years ago. But what I'm saying is that division, the winner was 7-9 2 years ago. And other than Dak Prescott, I mean, that team hasn't changed a whole lot, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys went 7-9. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if they went 10-6, or 11-6. But I think they're a very mediocre team, or middle of the pack team. I don't think. And the problem is with the Cowboys is, at least like us, right? We're not there yet, but we're trying to get better and be there. It's almost like the Cowboys think they're just one step away every year, but they're not.
They think they're one wide receiver away every year.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They think it's just the wide receiver. That's all they're looking for, the reincarnate Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, come off it, guys. Come off it.
Yeah, but no, I'm really hoping, if the Seahawks team is what I think it is, and I think they're going to be good. I really do. I'm really hoping we see you guys in the NFC Championship game in Santa Clara. That would be so badass.
Hey,
I think
if the 49ers meet the Cowboys in the playoffs next year, you need to make sure you buy stocks and TV stocks and TVs.
Oh,
because
Cowboys
You know what I'm
fans.
saying? And then on Monday, you know what I'm saying, when all them stocks go up because they got to pump out all them TVs, sell high, baby. Sell them stocks high. Come
Especially with
on.
sports betting going on. Did you see that video of that Eagles fan during the Super Bowl after that field goal and he just punched his TV out, dude?
Yeah.
I've never been that mad, and I've been mad. We threw an interception at the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl. You know, I've been mad, but I've never been like I threw my hat across the room when that happened. But no, I don't think I'd ever be like, you know what, this TV is about $500. Let me just put my fist through it really quick.
Dude, when you put all this money down on something, like your brain doesn't go, hey, maybe I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, obviously, you need to learn how to bet. You only need to bet what you can afford to lose. You know what you can afford to lose? Something you don't care about. You know what
Yeah,
you don't need to do when you lose something you don't care about? Beat your TV up.
bro. So I think sports betting is actually super fun. Like I really do. And so every Saturday morning I go into the Muckleshoes and get a roll of Copenhagen. And I'll stop in their sports book during football season on Saturday, and I'll just pick the money line for every game that weekend. And I take out like $30 out of the ATM, and like that's what I do. I'll make like stupid Seahawks prop bets that never hit, stuff like that. But I mean, I just take like between $30 and $60 every Friday during the football season because I think it's fun too to have a rooting interest in a game that you don't really care
Yeah.
about. But
I
people get
remember
messed up when they think they're good at it. When they think they're
there,
good at it, I mean, the experts are about 50%.
yeah. When I was just going down to Angels of the Winds and I was
Mhm.
like putting, what was it? Putting $5. I put $5 down on Brock Purdy throwing for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And you get like what, $15 or something
No,
like
I get
that.
$10.
Oh, okay. So it was just
But
even.
it was every week. You know what I'm saying? Boom, there you go. There you go. Boom, I'll get my tip back. You know, you got to figure out, and it's not like, okay, so I could do that every week. It's not like I'm going, oh, well, now I need to put $1,000 down.
No.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no, I'm
just
not one of those
put
people.
$5, or take your $5, get your $10, keep that slip. The next week, hand them that slip, so you don't even got to take any money. Essentially, you're paying $5, but it's $10. Then that if you win again, that $10 is $20, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just keep on
Yeah.
feeding that thing back in until
And
you
I
got
got
enough money for dinner.
I have friends I'll put thousands, not thousands, but hundreds, on just any given Sunday. And I'm like, that's not fun for me. That's not fun for me. You know, I'll pick up some stupid alternate spread, but Seahawks by like 31 points, or even though I know they're not, but I mean that $5 could turn into 500, and I'll be happy. I'll be just as happy if
Right.
you know.
I'm willing to throw away $5 to have the thrill of maybe winning 500. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It gives you, some skin in the game. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I remember what was I? I was watching, first game of the season. I bet on it was for my first bet ever as far as sports
The
gambling.
Chicago game.
Yeah, the Chicago game. I bet the Niners, or I bet the Bears to cover the spread. So not,
Oh my
because I
gosh,
thought it was good. Well, it was going to be a close game in the rain. You know what I mean?
that's my golden sin or that's my golden rule is it feels like a sin if I bet anything against the Seahawks. That's why I lose so much. But go ahead.
No, it wasn't betting against the 49ers. It's betting that the Seahawks, or betting that the Bears were going to beat the spread.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah,
yeah, it wasn't even that. I guess, when you look at what the ticket says, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It does kind of refer to that, but to me, I'm like, no, this is what I'm looking for. It was like, who was it? Not last year, but the year before that. The Lions, they were losing all them games, but they were like losing it by a possession. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
By
yeah,
in the last 30 seconds. And I can't remember who they were playing, but I was like, oh, I should put money down on this. Because I had this feeling like this is the week. Like these guys are limping in and these guys are poised and they have been robbed so many times that they are going to fillet somebody once they catch somebody slipping. And they were slipping, and I could have won some good money then. But I didn't go, oh, I have to make up for it next week. You know what I'm saying? Like I missed out this week.
That's not like
I give it a yeah, like that whole season, I didn't have an urge to make a bet at all, except for that one game. So I think it's
no.
handy if people know kind of themselves. They also kind of,
Well, I think that the NFL's promoting all this gambling so much. They need to be ready for some people that are going to be addicted to this because it is. I know some people that are.
oh yeah,
They'll just throw money down, and it's cool that's legal now here in Washington. But yeah, just be prepared for a lot of those people to be like losing their houses. I mean, and it's sad, but it's true. So
yeah. Like, hey, when I go to the regular casino, I just play Spanish 21, and I pull out like $40, and I'll sit there and play for an hour on $40 until I lose it all, and then I don't go back to the cash machine. I might go get some food. I might go get a beer. You know what I'm saying? But after that, I'm done. I spent my $40. I went there to play table games for an hour, and I essentially I paid $40 to rent the table. That's essentially how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people they put too much money down on these games, and they they mess up. But yeah, no, I don't. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be as big of a threat as everybody thinks, and that's my hot take. I really don't. I really don't think the Rams or the Cowboys. I keep saying something else. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be that good next year.
They couldn't handle us last year. They really couldn't. And they don't get me wrong. They weren't some chumps out there. But when push came to shove, they did not have it like we do. We're just ornery bastards. Very physical. And it's hard when you think you've trained yourself up to a level to be at the same echelon with somebody and they still come out and they're tougher than you. You know what I'm saying? And it's disheartening, and it's hard to get anything going when you're just continually getting hit in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the way the Niners play. They do. Anybody, I think. They play a physical game.
So we're reaching an hour now, and I believe I'm trying to get over to Corey's show.
Yeah, me too, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
Well, I was going to ask you if you wanted to you got anything going on your channel the rest of this week, or I know you got a Monday show.
Yeah, I got Monday, and then next Wednesday I'll be on here. I'll probably hit up Bryant, see what he's doing over the weekend. Nothing much, you?
Well, you know me. Friday night call-in show starts at 5 this week.
Why? Why so early?
Because there's a void in the space.
Okay.
There's a void in the time, and I'm kind of like testing it out. Because also then if we could still go 5 hours and not have to be up till midnight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before I was.
Yeah, I'll be.
I was only going live at 7 because there was other shows that were popping off, and I was, I like to watch those shows. So you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of, now the shows aren't there, so I'll just move up into the shows come back on. I'll move it back. You know what I mean? Like how things go.
No, I'll be there for sure. Sorry I missed last week. I was just.
Oh, you're good, bro. Yeah. Enjoy yourself. I'm glad. I wish I would have known, bro. I probably would have you didn't get up here till late anyway, so it probably wouldn't have been fun anyways.
No, that's what I mean. Just pop in from right behind you or something. Just like, oh, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. But
no, they were talking. I was like, he's in my town right now.
Yeah, I know. I rewatched it, and they were, yeah, Yeah, they were like, "Oh, that's cool," and you're like, "No, literally, like he's probably like 5 minutes away from my house."
Yep.
So
It
yeah, no, I'll be up there
truthfully,
more this summer though. So
behind Safeway is it's probably like 7 minutes from my house. Like,
okay,
with the light, because there's majors lights right there. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit after you get off the freeway. You know what I'm saying? Take that
but yeah,
right, make
no,
that left.
I'll be there more often this summer, so we'll link up and stuff. So
Oh hell yeah. Maybe we'll have to I don't know. If next season starts, maybe we'll have to do something at the Angel of the Winds Casino.
hell yeah, I'll be down.
You know where that is?
Yeah, I passed it on the freeway. It's closer to my house than Mount Vernon was. So
They got like, I don't know, like 30 leather chairs in front of like 15 televisions.
yeah, that's how the Muckleshoots is too. It's just
Yep.
crazy. It's just a giant wall, like
Yep.
behind me, but like a million times, not a million,
Yep.
but like 100 times that size. And I mean, it's crazy. I went there for college football Saturday, and your head is all over the place. So,
Shout out to all the native tribes and their casinos.
yeah, shout out Native Tribes. All right, well, let's get to Corey's stream,
Yep.
and I'll see you over there.
Peace out.
All right, bye.